Alright guys, this is Channing here. I am doing an unboxing of the new Dungeons & Dragons Red Box. As you can see, it looks very, very similar to the original classic first edition Red Box. The font is much like the original, just like the original Dungeons & Dragons box set, so you can see just how we're kind of doing a throwback here. I guess throwbacks are popular these days, so everyone wants to do that. So right now, let me set the camera down. We'll get the box open, and I'll show you what all we have inside. Alright. As we open the box, we got a couple different things. First of all, very important for Dungeons & Dragons, we do have a set of dice. Normally we'd get a bunch of different colored dice, but now we've actually got a color-coordinated black set. You know, it's pretty nice, pretty much one of everything you need. An extra D10 would have been nice. Normally you'd get an extra one of those. But it's one of each of them, so, you know, if you are just starting to play and you need dice, you got dice. Apparently, we get a voucher for a free, I guess, a PDF of a solo adventure, so that way if you are buying this by yourself, you can play by yourself. We have the player's book. I'll go into that in a little bit. Let's see what we got in here. The player's book goes through and tells you all about how you play D&D, how it all works, tells you about what goblins and dice and everything. It's pretty similar to a what we normally think of as our player's handbook. However, it has a lot more how to play, how to write the things in, exactly step by step how it all works. So it's pretty nice because it really walks through an entire encounter, exactly how you play it, exactly how you do it. So it does a pretty good job really bringing you right up to speed on how everything works, even combat and power cards. How to read a power card. Then we have the Dungeon Master's book. Dungeon Master's book is quite a bit thicker. It goes through, it talks about it. It goes straight into your first encounter. It doesn't really bite the bullet. It kind of jumps right in there, even before you start learning the most important rule and stuff like that. It teaches all about combat, like you should, you know, all that kind of stuff. You can look through the book. It also has the updated rules for stealth, that kind of stuff. You know, it's the same rules. It just kind of gives you a really simplified way of looking at it, so that way you can understand everything. So we're going through. You've got a whole bunch of different encounters, skill challenges, adventures, dungeons. If you play similarly to the D&D Encounters version, which is going to be like an encounter a week, give you 3 or 4 weeks to level, this arguably supports up to levels 3, so it really gives you, even for the $19.99 value, you're going to get about 3 months worth of equipment if you do it the D&D Encounter style, 1 or 2 hours a week, which is really the best for people who are just starting. It even gives you a whole section of the Nintir Vale, one of the areas in the standard D&D location. Next up, we have the new Dungeons & Dragons character sheet. It is very simplified, but I always like to see whenever the character sheet gets redesigned, so that way you can kind of see where everything is, how they, I guess, intend for us to look at things, how they intend for things to look. It also has all the information you really need on one side. It is one-sided. You're going to get, they're on, it's not paper, but it's a little thicker than your normal. It's not quite cardstock, but it's a little thicker than normal. We're getting another set of characters here, of, die-cast tokens. You can see we've got a whole bunch of stuff. We have brutes, wolves, zombies, rats, were-rats, hobgoblins, wolves, goblins, all sorts of things. We have all of our heroes that are available. We have humans, dwarves, rogues, elves. Pretty much just going to be it. Just the basic, when you think of, maybe I think there's some halflings in there too. We also add action point tokens, so that way in case you want to give out actual action points to the players. These are very similar to, if you've purchased any of the other beginner products for 4th edition, you've probably seen a very similar set. We got a couple of different tokens in here. Like, we didn't have so many of the drakes or any lizard folk in the other one, nor action points, and also the heroes are a little different. So it's kind of nice to see a new set of tokens come through. Now these are pretty nice. I myself have not purchased any of the character cards for the 4th edition set. They do sell them for class. What we have here, you can see, these are powers for the different players. We have the encounter powers, human versatility, elven accuracy, second chance, that's going to be halflings. Now on the back it tells you exactly what kind of card it is. It's an encounter power for a human, elf. We also have them for magic items, so that way you can, instead of just telling someone that they got it, we actually have a card to hand out, so it's a little more real, has a little more something to it. And of course we have lots of these for all the different classes we got, going up to level 3. You have utilities, all that sort of stuff. We also have, we get to see some of the neater new powers from Essentials, which come out next month. If you look through, I'll point out, I think they're at the very bottom, yeah, down here. We have a couple of the fighter powers, whereas fighters, instead of getting the different items, they get, instead of at-will attack powers, they're getting at-will stances, like Poised Assault. This stance is a minor action. It gives you a +1 power bonus to melee attack rolls, and it lasts until you choose a different stance. So, here we go. I'll just have a +1 to attack. My melee attacks are a little better, but you know what? It's kind of a nice bonus. Then you look over here, Battle Fury, you assume the stance, you gain +2 power bonus to weapon damage rolls. It's just a neat way of, instead of giving you attack powers that are essentially vague changes on the melee basic attack, they just give you stances so that all of your melee basic attacks are that way. Now for rogues, they gave us a couple of at-will powers that are at-will move actions. So like Acrobatic Maneuver, you move up to 1+ strength modifier squares. You gain a +4 power bonus to all defenses until you complete this move. You can enter enemy spaces during this move, but you can't move in an enemy space. So strong rogues can dive through enemies in order to get into a flank position or to even backstab. This one is a nimble positioning, at will move. Adjacent to an enemy, shift 2 squares. Excellent for flanking. It just gives you a lot more options, and it shows the versatility of the 4th edition set, that you can do so much different with it. Now we also got a full color 2-sided map. I'm going to lay this out on the floor so you can see it. As you see the map here, it's I don't know if you can really get a good look at it, but the map itself is, it's a little wonky. It's just a whole bunch of rooms thrown together on the map. I don't think you'd ever really make a dungeon that actually looked like this, because it's so cluttered. But you could seal off just this portion and use it for the room, seal off just this area for this encounter, seal off just this. So it gives you kind of the functionality of the dungeon tiles, just as long as you take it little by little. On the other side, we've got one full outdoor map. This is called the Crossroads. It gives you a nice, place to turn your back and play the banjo and, fight the devil. And then over here we've got the Monster Lair, as it's called, which gives you an outdoor side and then a cave of some kind that you could lead you into a dungeon, or where, a monster could be. Both of these maps look very similar to what I remember seeing in the Keep on the Shadowfell set. So once again, it's something that's going to be familiar if you've been buying these products. But for people that are brand new, it really does give you a whole lot of options. And of course, there is an advertisement for the upcoming Essentials line. All in all, for the $19.99 price point, the ability to really get new players in exceptionally easily with much nicer items than we've had in the past, it really does give you some good value, and I really hope it's going to be able to try to bring some more people into the game, because between this and Encounters, Wizards is really trying this big grand gesture to try to get more people to play the game, and I think this is a step in the right direction with the red box, the Encounters, and that's just the way that D&D has evolved into our modern kind of way of doing things. So I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing of the D&D red box. I hope this has influenced you one way or another, whether or not you're going to purchase it. Thank you for watching, and if you're curious about any of the pictures, I've taken a whole bunch of high-res stills, that way you can see a lot of the images on the blog a little under the videos. So hope you've enjoyed watching this. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you soon. This is Channing with Abstract.